Well, good morning, sweetie. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good, good. And hello to the listeners out there. This is Michael, and
Lake.
we are Heart to Heart. How'd you sleep, sweetie?
Oh, I had a wonderful sleep.
Good, good. And breakfast and coffee was good, and all of that.
Yes, it was awesome.
Good. And your week is going well.
Very good.
Very good, good. So, this is our official, unofficial first inaugural episode where we're testing the waters and getting a feel for the podcasting world. We have immersed ourselves into YouTube videos and looking at how it's done and figuring out the mechanics of how all of this works. And podcasting is something that we've been talking about for what, probably 2 or 3 years,
Yeah,
maybe more.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We've been talking about doing this for a long time. And we recently celebrated our 30th anniversary in October. And, we went to Maui and enjoyed each other for a few days there. We'll talk about that in a little bit. A little bit later. That trip was very interesting.
Yeah, very.
And the other milestone we hit was that I turned 50 years old. Now Lake is already 50. She's older than me.
Really?
Yeah, so she gets to talk smack.
9 months.
Yeah. She talks smack, 9 months out of the year because she's the oldest. And then when I catch up with her, then we're equals again. So, whatever. But anyway. So yeah, this whole venture into podcasting is really, I'll be honest, it's not really for listeners or for anything, like that. We really just, wanted to find something, some new project that we were working on together, something that we could work on and do together. We like to have projects that we focus on together and that we're both playing an active part in, because you go day to day and live life day in and day out, and everybody has their own goals and missions and purposes that they're chasing after. But I feel like, and like I'm sure you would agree, that as a couple there should be things that you both have in common, that you're passionate about, that you're working on, that you're nurturing,
Right.
that you're focusing on, regardless of the output or the purpose. If it means something to you, then it's worth investing time and energy, because the ultimate goal really is to find something where you get to spend time together and,
Right.
and something that you're working on. So that's really why we're doing this, is to have something that we can focus on and work on together. Yesterday, I worked on the graphics and did some research and, put some graphic art together and found a podcasting host and things like that. And it was very exciting. It was exhilarating.
It
Yeah.
was. It really was.
Yeah. And the one thing, though, that I figured out yesterday about myself, historically, I am very easily distracted. And it's hard for me to get started on something because in my head, I know I'm going to get distracted by something or someone. Something's going to come up and it's going to derail me, and I'll spend 30 minutes trying to get back on track. Yesterday, working on the podcast and having to work and do everything else, I was able to stay focused in a way that I hadn't been able to in a long time. And I don't know how or when that training kicked in for myself, but I was able to shift gears and pivot very easily. Work on something. Work on the podcast, and then switch gears to do something else right quick, and then come right back. And I was much more agile, and so I'm grateful for that.
Right.
You know, to be able to finally do that. It took years.
It's probably that 50 kicking in.
That 50 kicking in? Is that those multivitamins
Right.
finally kicking in? Yeah, yeah. So, sweetie, tell me tell me about your coffee this morning. Let me hear from you about your coffee actually today and your coffee yesterday.
Yesterday, let's just go back to yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
My coffee was very bland. It did not have any taste to it. My husband decided that he wanted to try something different, like mixing two. First of all, let me tell you.
Uh-oh.
Let me just tell you.
Hashtag let me tell you. All right.
That I am very sensitive to my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a coffee girl. When I wake up, I want coffee. Don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me until I have my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband makes the perfect coffee. Most days.
Most days. I'm on it.
Except for yesterday.
Except for yesterday.
He decided that he was going to put a twist to the coffee.
Mm-hmm. And she picked it up right away.
And it was horrible.
It was hard. My coffee was horrible.
It was just horrible. But today...
Well, wait a minute. So yesterday, we had to do what Starbucks does when they mess up your coffee. You know, they have a process called recovery, where they where they make it again and all that. And, and I did get it right a little bit. Well, with what I had, because where I messed up at was we had two different creamers and I mixed them together, and it messed up the taste of it. Plus, I used too much that particular time. Right. Because I had preset everything the night before to go off, you know, and just make the coffee, and I, you know, put the creamer and the sugar together and put it in the refrigerator, and, you know, I used too much, and it messed it up. Tasted too milky, right? Right. So I redid it and redeemed myself, and then so yesterday when we were out running errands, we had to stop and buy some more creamer that wasn't mixed up and messed up. And the other thing is the sugar we use is not right either. They're out of dark brown sugar everywhere. I don't know why. That's one of the secrets to my coffee is that I don't use white, you know, pure cane sugar. I use dark brown sugar, which is also sweetened with molasses, you know, which adds a little different kind of sweetness to it. And so today
I have an empty cup now because the coffee was wonderful.
It was wonderful. It was magnificent.
It was
just
hot,
like your husband. Is that right?
That's right.
Yes, indeed. So now, and so let's take a quick peek back in time about this whole coffee journey, because you didn't like coffee up until about 4 years ago, maybe 5.
Yeah.
Vegas. You used to love the smell of coffee in the morning, but you didn't like the taste of it.
Right.
And I basically turned you into a coffee drinker in Las Vegas.
And now he's complaining about it.
Yeah. Now she's like a little stray cat expecting coffee every morning. She wakes up and won't talk or smile or do anything until there's coffee involved. You know, coffee spelled backwards is EFOC, and she doesn't give EFOC about anything until she's had her coffee, you know. Right. So I did that. But so basically we were in Vegas, and that was 20, it wasn't 25 years, it was 24 years, I think. It was before.
Yeah. About 24.
Yeah. It had occurred to me, we'd been married all that time, and we never sat down and had a cup of coffee together because you didn't drink coffee, you know. Right. And I didn't really drink it either. I mean, I would have my occasional Starbucks, but that wasn't really coffee. That was hot milk and, you know, a bunch of sugar. So. Right. But so we were in Vegas. We used to go to Vegas all the time, and we'll talk about that later too. That's going to be awesome. So we were in Vegas on your birthday trip that we would take every year in January, and I went down and got you some coffee, and got a couple of coffees, and you said you'll try it and everything, and you liked it, and it was good, and all of that, and then the next day you wanted another one, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, now, because I don't call it Starbucks, I call them $5 because it's so high, So she's starting to want $5 every day. And from then on, it's been coffee every morning. There's rarely a morning that you don't have coffee unless you're busy or you wake up and you have an early appointment or something. But so yeah, that's how she became a coffee drinker. I basically turned her out and made her a coffee drinker, and now I'm stuck making it every day. Can you believe that?
Right.
Yeah. So, well, sweetie, I have enjoyed this first episode. We've got a lot of work to do, obviously. Still going through and ironing out the kinks and figuring things out. We know almost exactly what we're doing.
Right.
How hard could it be, right?
Right.
And I promise that, I'll do less talking eventually because you love talking, but this is our first one. So the historical agreement that we have is, you'll stay married to me if I do all the public speaking.
Right.
But that's going to be different. You got, you're going to have some stuff to do here, and we're going to pull you out of that little shell that you've been so comfortable in all these years. When nobody's around, I can't get you to hush.
Right.
I mean, you say, oh, and another thing, did you know such and such? It's like, oh, sweetie, yeah, that's nice. Okay, good. I mean, it's all day, So, but I love it though. I love when we communicate and talk, and love being at home because we get to see each other all the time, and you're my favorite person, and it's just a awesome arrangement we have going right now.
Right.
But that's it for this episode, this first official test, unofficial test episode as we begin this journey. And we look forward to the next one, and we'll see you then. Take care.